Ava, are you planning on coming to my wedding? With a face like that?
Just like always, you're coming back to be rude to me even more. I do plan on going to your wedding. And congratulations on getting proposed to. You are family to me now, so it's pretty obvious that I'd be going to see your wedding. And I was the one that showed you the location of where you're planning to hold your wedding, right?
And so what? And the only reason you showed me the wedding hall to have a wedding is because you do a business with that place. So stop trying to act all cool about doing that when it was nothing more than you helping them make more money.
I'm not trying to get some sort of praise from you or anything. I was just stating that I know where the wedding will occur. And another thing, at the moment I'm the one that's paying for your wedding until you have the money to pay me back, right? So just with that alone, I'd love it if you could thank me or something.
And I told you I will pay you back, so don't worry. Others will be giving me money as gifts for my wedding, so just wait until I get all of that. And for the savings I have right now, they need to be used for other purposes, so I can't repay you with that.
And have you told Drew about that yet? Drew told me that your husband would be the one to pay for things like that, but that's all a lie, right?
I'm not lying about anything. I just wanted to make sure that he wasn't worried about anything regarding me. That's just what I want Drew thinking for a little while, so don't do anything unnecessary that could make him think otherwise.
Anything unnecessary? Him and I are married now, Evelyn. I understand that this whole event is for our family and we wouldn't want to make any issues, but I'm still not fully sure whether you're up to something else behind all of our backs right now.
Well, Ava, you're a pretty ugly woman.
Wait, what?
Do you think that it's okay for someone who's ugly to come to my wedding? I want to make sure that my whole wedding is 100% perfect for all my guests. And if someone with the looks of you came into it, then the whole event would be ruined.
How much longer are you going to keep making such rude comments about my face being less than ideal for you? I guess I can expect that sort of stuff to continue from you, though. Do you tell Drew about all the things you say to me? Have you told him that you're not inviting his wife to the wedding because she's ugly?
If I said that to him, I'd be hurting his feelings, so I'll never tell him that. Of course, telling him the truth would be a lot easier.
You should never say something like that, though. If you're worried about hurting someone's feelings with the things you say, then why do you keep making rude comments about me? Up to now, you have hurt my feelings plenty of times.
Well, because you've helped out with my wedding and planning it out, I'm thankful. But because of your less than beautiful looks, I want you to stay away from it.
You're being awful right now, Evelyn. You can stop trying to tell me to stay away, alright? Go and tell your brother all these sorts of things and see what he says.
I tried warning you plenty of times not to come, Ava, but you never heeded any of them. And you probably just thought that I was bluffing. If this has helped you understand that you're an ugly and depressing woman, then get up and go home.
I've had enough. You are worse than I thought. You pushed me into that fountain at the wedding reception all because you hate the looks of your brother's wife for no good reason. That right there has pushed me to my limits with you.
And I told you that all ugly people were to stay out of my wedding. Hurry up and go away. You're dripping wet now, and I don't want you causing any slip hazards for my invited guests.
I can see that you think you're all that because it's your wedding day and you want me to be gone. But do you understand just how regretful you're going to be because of all that you've done to me?
Regretful? I'll never regret a thing about today. All I did just then was help get rid of an ugly duckling. Everyone knows that I was in the right for doing that.
Well, if you're so confident in that, then that's great for you. I can see now that no matter what I try and say to you, you're never going to actually think about it. I'm giving up on you now, you old, hopeless hag!
Excuse me? Why are you being so rude to me now?
Because after all this time I'd been so considerate of you when you've been rude to me. You are my brother's older sister after all, and I tried my best to just ignore all the hateful things that have come out of your mouth. But I seriously cannot handle you anymore.
Well, I've been trying my best with you.
How?
I've actually never really thought of you as part of my family, even after marrying my brother. And because you came into my wedding today without considering the consequences, I had to push you into the fountain. There's no way that someone dripping wet would be allowed to stay here, so hurry up and go.
Then I will go.
See ya! Never, you gross loser!
Going as far as you have has really shown me your true colors. But since you still can't seem to realize the consequences of all this, then I'm just going to shut up and leave. But don't you ever forget that this wedding hall was all put together with the help of the company I work for.
Huh? And what does that have to do with anything?
You'll know soon enough.
Hey Ava, can you reply to me please? Right now they're saying that this whole wedding is being cancelled and have started to clean up.
Well, that would happen. I told them to cancel it before I left.
Huh? What the heck are you talking about, Ava? If you let them keep doing this, then my whole wedding is going to be over.
And that's just too bad, right? But if you think about what you've done to me, it's only natural. You cared way too much about your little brother's feelings, and to make sure that your wedding that you haven't even paid for yet was perfect, you pushed me, the one paying for it, into that fountain. None of what you'd been doing was okay.
Hold on a second. There's no way you can just cancel my wedding while it's still going on, right? Right now my husband is pissed.
Is that so? I'm sure he would be when he has no clue as to why this is all happening yet. But I have nothing to do with the aftermath of all this, so don't bother me with it.
You can't just run away from this.
Well, I am a stranger to you, right? You told me that you don't regard me as family. And for a while now, I had been worried a lot about Drew. But I can no longer think of you as being family to me.
Come back here.
What?
Please, come back here so that we can all avoid being embarrassed. So please come back. If we can't get this wedding back on the road, then I'll be in hot water. Hurry up and get back here. Explain all of this to my husband for me.
I'm going to just ignore that very selfish request of yours, okay?
Huh? Why?
Also, as for the money you had asked me to give you to pay for that wedding, I'd like all $50,000 of it back very soon from you.
What? Huh?
That's what it cost for your wedding and all that came with it. And you asked me to pay for it at first, and that you'd repay the $50,000 to me after the wedding. So give it all back to me right now. I want it. And now that your wedding has been canceled, you have to pay the cancellation fees as well. I'm not going to be the one to pay those fees, but I still want my money back now. And I will not let you run away from me.
There's no way I can give you all of that money right now. Are you being serious with me?
Why wouldn't I be, you filthy grandma?
Huh?
You had no right calling me ugly and pushing me into that fountain when you had to borrow money from me to have the whole wedding. I've really been thinking about what could have been wrong with your head. But anyway, I want that money now.
But I don't have that kind of money on me right now. And also having my wedding cancelled on me is not okay. I had finally made it into my wedding day, and now it's all being ruined.
You must have forgot all the strings I had to pull to allow your wedding to be held here. I mean, if you knew that and still pushed me into the fountain, then you must seriously need some mental help.
I knew about all of that. Why would I have ever forgotten about something like that? But I thought that that would have had nothing to do with me. I can thank you for getting me this beautiful place to have my wedding and all, but I never thought you could easily cancel the wedding on me as well. I just never thought that you'd actually do something so horrible to me.
Well, it had to happen after you decided to get me drenched while in my dress. I'd stop trying to make excuses for all of that now, okay? You should know by now that this is all due to you, right?
I'm tired of texting you about this, so just come back here, please. If you want me to apologize for what happened, I'll apologize. Really, what do you want to happen after all of this?
Huh? What do I want to happen?
I'm just asking that you come back here and make things right for me so that we can continue the wedding, right? So you can stop acting like a crybaby and come back here. I'll apologize if that's what you're wanting.
You are actually brain dead, you hag.
Huh? Brain dead? Don't you think you're going too far?
Even though you're the one that's been taking it too far for a while now? Calling me ugly and a loser all the time has driven me up the wall. If you have the time to be calling me names all day long, then maybe you had the time to rethink what you were doing and make a change for the better. Your wedding is canceled, you pile of garbage.
You don't have to tell me things like that, right? What are you trying to say that I did? What's wrong with me calling you ugly all the time?
Well, then never ask me for money again. And don't bother with me handling your wedding for you anymore. I don't want to be around people that think it's okay to call others ugly. All you've done is made me feel as though I've wasted a lot of my time and money now. And I don't want that kind of relation with you anymore. So give me back my money and let your wedding be canceled.
Are you really that upset with me?
Oh, come on now! You forget that you pushed me into a fountain full of cold water? It'd be scary if you did manage to forget that so easily. Not only that, but you also have been calling me ugly forever now. And you made that your reason for kicking me out of the wedding. But seriously, you pushing me into that fountain because of my looks was the last straw for me. I'm not going to ever forgive you for that, and things between you and I are over. I am not coming back to your demolished wedding. I've already told everyone there that the wedding is canceled, and they gotten to work on taking it all down. And I plan to tell my husband everything about what happened between you and I.
Wait. What do you mean you plan to tell him everything? What the heck do you plan on telling him?
I'll tell him about how you pushed me into the water and then kicked me out of your wedding? And of course about all the other things you've said to me. I didn't want to tell him about us before either because, like you, I didn't want him worrying about us. You also told me to never tell him anything, and had you just let me be at your wedding, I never would have planned on telling him. But now things have changed, and I've had enough! After this, I'm cutting ties with you! Isn't that just fantastic for you?
That's not fantastic at all. And about my brother, he wouldn't stop talking about you any time he was around me. It was disgusting, and he was supposed to be my precious little brother, but you stole him from me.
But there is a limit to how far you can take that hate you had stored up for me.
I know that. I can see now that what I did was not right. You could say that I was just getting frustrated is all. I was hoping that at some point you'd leave my brother because of me.
We are married now, but all you could think of was having us divorce? I'm sorry, but him and I have never thought about divorce. But now that you've said that about us, I'm going to leave you for good. Is that okay with you?
But if you leave me now, then what will happen to my wedding?
Well, it'll stay canceled, won't it? You'll have to start from step one again and look for a new place to have your wedding at. But if you give me all my money back, I might rethink things.
That's screwed up, Ava. You and I are family, right? Don't you think you can cut that sort of crap with me since we're pretty much sisters? You're supposed to love and help your family, right?
I'm starting to feel that you have some sort of short-term memory loss that's at the bottom of all this. I'm sorry, but I cannot be asked with you anymore. I just don't get what is going on in that head of yours, and I don't want to anymore. So go right ahead and say whatever you'd like about me. I've told your husband now that your wedding is permanently canceled. And this might be the end of your marriage to him now as well.
Don't say those terrible things. Don't just throw me away. If my wedding really does end up being canceled today, I'll be causing a lot of problems for my parents, right? Are you happy letting those problems affect my parents?
I'm not happy about it, but I've already explained what happened to them as well.
Huh?
There were some people that watched you push me into the fountain. And your parents have already apologized to me for that. And after talking with Drew, he agrees that the both of us should cut ties with you for good.
You told Drew already? How much further are you planning to take all of this?
I'm not taking this any farther than you already have. You're the one that started all of this, and you're the one that brought it all to this point. This is great, right? You'll never have to see your ugly sister-in-law again. I'm glad about this myself. I'm finally able to say goodbye to one of the most heartless and gross women I've ever had the misfortune of calling family. Now, have a wonderful life with your husband. In the end, the wedding was officially canceled and taken apart. Evelyn's husband ended up being furious, and she was forced to apologize to both him and all of his family members that had traveled to see the wedding. And it seems that now, Even their marriage is on the line. Drew was in shock over what his sister had done, and after talking with his parents about what to do about her, they all agreed to cut ties to her. Also, the money that Evelyn still had to repay Ava and the cost of the dress that she ruined by pushing her into the water were both to be paid in a settlement that Ava made. But Evelyn had been thrown out by everyone, and she tried her hardest to apologize to Ava. However, Ava ended up blocking her and told her lawyer to make sure that money was repaid before the end of the month.
I'm going to be getting married. And that's just what I deserve for being such a beautiful woman.
Is that so? You're getting married to Andy then? Congratulations.
That is right. But why do you know about him? Did I ever tell you the name of my boyfriend before?
I think that I've known about Andy a lot longer than you have at this point. But you don't have to worry about that. Just congrats on you both getting married. However, I wasn't really thinking that the two of you would ever make it this far together. But you have always wanted to get married to someone, so this is great for you.
What is up with that kind of attitude? Are you trying to talk down to me? Did you really think that I wouldn't be able to get a man to marry me, even though I have this wonderful body?
Huh? Why do you think I meant what I said as a slight towards you? I just wanted to say congrats for finding a man that would marry you, and that I'm happy to see things working out.
Well, you don't have the right to talk to me like that about my situation. Have you even seen the current job you're working? Would you ever think it's okay for an overnight cleaning lady to talk to anyone else the way you've been? You're the lowest of the low in the society, so I'm not going to let you talk crap.
About this again? What about being a cleaning lady means that I'm the lowest of the low? I've been putting a lot of effort into my job, and I take it very seriously. So don't call me anything like a lowlife, okay?
Well, someone like you shouldn't be having to do a job like that. But perhaps that's the reason why I'm the one getting married and not you.
As though you were chosen? Well, just as long as you're getting married for love.
But when I do get married to Andy, I'll become a housewife for him. Unlike a cleaning lady, I'll never have to work in other people's houses or offices to do their dirty work.
I don't have a problem with any of that, though. Layla, do you think you could stop talking down to me about the job I do? I'm starting to become a little bit upset by the way you talk about me. I'm sure that you can't see that yet, but...
Why do I have to care about how you feel when I talk to you? I'm not in the position where I have to give up my time thinking about how low lives feel. And you are the worst of the low lives.
You're going too far, Layla. And to put some things into perspective for you, do you know how you ended up meeting Andy in the first place?
What do you want to say to me? I was introduced to Andy by Mom, right? She told me that he's one of her friend's son.
Huh? Is that what she told you?
That is. So what does that mean to you? A low-life scum like you is not invited to my wedding? If a cleaning lady came to my special day, it would make the whole atmosphere go sour.
That attitude you have right there. Stop it! I'm getting to my limits with the way you're treating me now, Layla. If I were to stay away from your wedding like you've said, things wouldn't go so well for you. So I'm going. Now, I'll see you at your wedding. Mom, I can see that Layla is going to end up marrying Andrew now, right? Have you not told her yet that I'm the one that's known Andy and introduced him?
Well, that's the problem. It became harder and harder for me to tell her that. With that girl, if I mentioned that you were the one that introduced Andy, she'd freak out, right? She'd get all up in our faces again and would think that we're all playing with her.
Well, I can understand that she wouldn't take it lightly. I can definitely see her flipping out at the news that I was the one to bring him along. But it's crazy that she thinks we're being rude or mean to her when she's the one that's been that way to me my whole life.
And that's the reason I never said anything about her to you. But now that she's going to be getting married to him, she'll finally be able to move out of this house. I'm planning on getting out of here myself and into a new home.
Is that so?
I want to move away with Dad to a smaller farmhouse out in the countryside to spend our final years relaxing. And so we've both been waiting a long time for her to leave.
I can see that. Well, thankfully that time has come.
And once things have settled down after the move, we'd love for you to come out and see the place.
All right. But that's only if Layla can get married to that man. I'm starting to feel a bit bad, though, for Andy now that I've introduced him to a demon of sorts. But if he's really that into Layla, then that's great for him.
I think the two of them fit like puzzle pieces, so it's worked out. I think that Lila and him will be able to get along well, even after marriage, so I'm praying that things go smoothly for her and she doesn't throw it all away.
I'm in the same boat as you are. She told me she doesn't want me to come to her wedding. But I'm afraid something will happen if I don't show, so I'm gonna go still, okay?
And you should still go. She's still a little selfish brat, so you don't have to listen to what she says.
Thank goodness. Well, I'm looking forward to the wedding.
Did you not listen to me? Hurry up and get lost, you moneyless lowlife. I don't want you showing yourself to Andy when he should never know that you're part of my family.
Do you have no idea what you've just done? I think that what's happened is literally taking things way too far between us.
Well, it's your fault for coming to my wedding in the first place, right? I didn't even invite you here in the first place, yet you still showed up.
Well, Mom had received an invitation from Andy asking for the whole family to come to the wedding. I knew that you wanted me to stay away today, but choosing to be violent towards me was going too far overboard.
What about that was violent? I was just making sure that your eyes were opened.
Well, you came up to me and slapped me across the face before yelling at me to leave. Do you not see how messed up something like that really is?
You're getting on my nerves, Sydney. What I had to do with you was in defense of my wedding.
What? Do you know what it means to defend something? Are you sure you weren't just assaulting me a second ago?
Lowlife scum are not a part of my family, so hurry up and leave already. You should have listened to me before I had to take action and defend my wedding.
Why do you think that I'm some lowlife that's worth assaulting?
Because you're an overnight cleaning lady.
Layla, look! What you're saying makes no sense right now.
What I'm saying does make sense. I'm not okay with my little sister being a cleaning lady when she had so much potential. I slapped you to try and wake you up, so now that you understand how I feel about you, get lost.
Then you have a great one.
I don't need to hear that from you.
I'm going to do as you wish and go right home. But allow me to say one last thing. The man that you've just married was introduced to you by me.
Really? Why are you starting to say such unrealistic things now?
I get it. You're not going to believe me. But you're the only one that doesn't seem to care.
What do you mean?
Mom just happened to never tell you about his relation to me. She wanted to keep you from getting upset with me for bringing Andy along, and so she never told you a thing about how he's your husband due to me. You were already upset with me due to my job as a cleaning lady, and she couldn't see you believing her without getting pissed. But the reason that I was able to bring him to you is because I became friends with him and his parents due to my job. But I already have a fiancé, so I decided that he should talk to you more if he was looking for someone.
You know him and his parents? What are you talking about? Do you really think I can take a joke like that seriously? Have you got off the deep end now? I'm sorry that you're having to leave my wedding is so distressing, but it has to be done.
The only reason Mom never told you was for the sake of making sure you would stay with Andy. She was afraid of how angry you'd become and that you'd throw your relationship with Andy away because of me.
Are you really telling me the truth? Why has Andy vanished from me all of a sudden? What's going on here?
Maybe it's because his parents watched as you slapped me in the face earlier?
Huh? They saw all of that?
They saw the whole thing unfold! If it wasn't for you laughing so hard at me, they might have not came and looked. But after you slapped me and started to laugh some more, I went and met with them.
Wait, when you went to go see them, you didn't say anything unnecessary, right? And are you for real? About you and Andy already knowing one another?
Because I had known his parents and him for a while. They took good care of me. And it's because of them that I was able to find you a man to marry. But now you've gone and slapped me in front of both his parents.
But I never knew anything about you guys, so maybe this is just you trying to make up crap. Hold on, something's going on. Because you're not here, his parents seem pretty upset right now. And they just told Andy that I've done something wrong. Do you think you could come back here? I feel that if you don't come back right now, things will get pretty bad for me. Please hurry.
Even if you asked nicely, I'm not coming back now, huh?
Huh? Why not? Right now, things are starting to go downhill and I'm a bit panicked. I'm in a bit of pinch right now, so please come back here. Why, after a little slap to my sister, are they all starting to get worked up? Hurry up and get back here.
You asking me to come back now after telling me to get lost out of panic isn't going to work.
Why?
Because you just told me, Layla. You said you don't see me as family, right?
No, that's not what I meant by that.
And now that you've said and done things to someone as vital as me, you might end up getting divorced from him pretty soon. I'm sure that both Andy and his parents are regretting me introducing him to you. We had tried so hard to make things work out between you two. But I've already talked with Andy about this.
Huh? Why? Why are you talking with him before asking me for permission? You don't have to do things like that behind my back. What have you guys been talking about?
I told him that you no longer see me as your family, and so he no longer has to worry about you and I. I then ended our conversation by asking that he do what he thinks is best regarding you.
Huh? What do you mean by that? Do you think that he needs to do something about me being with him now?
Well, you talk down to me for being a cleaning lady, and even have gone as far as to regard me as nothing but a stranger now. I feel as though he should understand that and think twice about being married to you.
Please don't tell me you told him all about that, right?
Of course I told him.
Why did you do something like that to me?
That's right. I almost forgot to say this. I think you really don't know the importance of this.
What is it now? What importance is there that I'm unaware of?
Andy's parents are actually the ones that own the company in which I work for.
Huh?
You've been going on about how much you dislike those that work in the cleaning industry. And since you seem to hate people like me so much, it wouldn't make sense that you be married to the son of two people that own a company which is in the cleaning industry, right?
Hold on. Andy is the son of the company's CEO? I had a feeling that he had a lot of money, but I just assumed he was working for a good company, that's all. That would mean that I've landed the perfect husband, right?
Well, that's only if your marriage to him lasts, right?
I never knew about that. He never mentioned to me that his parents owned a company. I'm freaking out right now because there's so many things I never was told about. This is all way too different from the situation I was thinking about. What should I do now?
Asking me what you should do will get you nowhere. That all has nothing to do with me now. I think that your wedding will be canceled now, and you being married to Andy will crumble, right? You're going to go back to being a single and jobless loser, right?
What is with you calling me that? I'm your sister. And if all of that happens to me because of you, you get back here right now and do something about this. I've never heard of a little sister acting out like that towards her older sister.
Well, I don't think of you as my sister anymore.
Huh?
After what's happened, I'm thinking of just cutting ties with you now. I like to think that someone who's willing to slap their own sister is no family of mine. And so I'll do whatever I can to make sure I don't have to see you anymore. Now, goodbye forever.
Wait, what are you saying? If you are to cut ties with me right now, what will happen to my marriage to Andy? Stop trying to run away from your responsibility.
Well, to be honest, you being married to him was never going to work. He was going to become aware of you at some point in time, so aren't you happy that his eyes have been opened now? Ah, and another thing. Mom and Dad are going to be moving away. And they said they're no longer going to take care of you anymore. So, if you're thinking of going back to them, they won't be there. Don't forget about that, okay?
What's going on? Are you saying that Mom and Dad are going to throw me away as well? You getting in the way of my wedding is the worst thing ever.
I didn't get in the way of anything. You just messed up by slapping me in the face.
That was just a joke, or maybe it was just an accident.
No matter how you try and make excuses for what happened, it won't help you. Now, good luck with your marriage. But before you try for marriage, maybe find yourself a job? Right now, you're just a complete loser. Are you not embarrassed being 33 years old and still living with your parents under all their care? You like to call cleaners lowlifes, but when you think about it, someone who's unemployed and lives with their parents is the real lowlife. See you never, you lost cause! Never try talking to me again. In the end, Layla was left in despair after her wedding was canceled. She immediately ran away from everyone at the wedding and their short marriage was over. Andy's parents tried searching for her as they still wanted to talk to her about why she would do what she did, but after searching for her for hours, they gave up and let her be. Andy was left a small bit heartbroken, but was more relieved than anything else since he was able to see the true person that Layla really was. Layla tried running back to her parents' house, but would soon find that it was already too late for herself. Layla's parents were already out of their old house and moved to the countryside by then. And since she had no one to rely on anymore, she was forced into having to support herself. She tried to get Sydney to help her, but by that point, Sydney had already blocked all her ways of contacting her. Sydney had also gotten married to her fiancé as well, and moved to a new location. And so, Layla was left with nothing but herself, and had to start from scratch like most people had done in their early 20s. If only she had gone out and started fending for herself sooner. Something like this would never be happening to her.